Okay, here's the line, and here's Ron.
It's the Ron Todd Show.
Pastor Ron.
It's the Ron Todd Show.
Oh, y'all got it.
It's the Ron Todd Show. You are now tuned in to the Ron Todd Show. Oh! It's the Ron Todd Show.
Go have several seats.
It's the Ron Todd Show.
Are they saved
Or no? It's the Ron Todd Show. You are now tuned in to the Ron Todd Show. Oh! It's the Ron Todd Show.
You must be a black woman.
It's the Ron Todd Show. Sweet punkin'. It's the Ron Todd Show. You are now tuned in to the Ron Todd Show. Oh!
Pastor Ron, you paid for my food and my food grew.
Hey, who brought the food today?
Hey, welcome to the Ron Todd Podcast. I'm Ron Todd. What's up, y'all? I'm super excited. We have an amazing show for you guys today. Come on in. I'm putting my earphones in now. I want to make sure that we don't have any feedback today. Okay, I see y'all coming on in the room. Come on, y'all. Come on. Don't you want to go? Come on in. I see y'all. Y'all know how we do it. As soon as you come in the room, just do me a favor. Hit that like button. Hit that share button. Let somebody know that we're on. And it's going to be a great show today. Super excited. All right. Let's see who we got here tonight. Hanging out with us as you guys are filling in here. I see you. Thank you so much. Kiana Parker says, what's up? What's up, Kiana? So good to see you tonight. Thank you so much for being with me. I sure appreciate you here. All right, let's see who else we got. Make sure you share, Kiana, if you haven't already. All right, I see Diane Williams. She says, hello, Pastor Ron. Hello, Sister Diane. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I certainly appreciate you. All right, guys. As you're coming in, make sure you say hey to me, and I will say hey back to you. I promise you. There is Sister Meredith. She says, hey, hi, Pastor Ron. Hey, Sister Meredith, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Certainly appreciate you being here. There is Pastor Taylor. He says, bless you, Pastor Ron. Bless you, my brother from another mother. So good to see you. Thank you so much. All right, Pastor Darlene Bell says, praise the Lord, Pastor Ron Todd. Glad to be on your podcast tonight. God continue to bless you richly and abundantly. Thank you. I certainly appreciate that. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Let's see. Kevin Moore says, hey, Pastor Ron, that's my friend. Hey, Kevin, so good to see you tonight. I am glad you got your face in the place. Listen, as you guys are coming in, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that share button. All right. Let somebody know that we're on today, and it's going to be an amazing show. My assistant is here. She says, I'm here. Hello. I'm so glad you're here. So glad you're here. In Jesus' name. Thank you so much, Keisha. Thank you for coming in. Again, if you haven't already, y'all hit that share button. Let somebody else know the Ron Todd podcast is on, and it's about to go down. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited, y'all. Samson Logan will be with us today, and I'm excited about that, guys. He is an incredible artist. He is an incredible actor, producer. So many things. He wears a million different hats, and he's pretty incredible. So I'm excited for you guys to get a chance to interact with him today. So I need you to make sure you get on the horn, let somebody know the Ron Todd podcast is on. And as always, we have an amazing guest tonight. We try really hard to bring you guys the best guests, all right, for you to enjoy and interact with. All right. So let's see who else we have. Anybody else come on that I did not speak to? If I didn't say anything to you, it's because you didn't say anything to me. So if you're on here and you didn't speak, that's why I didn't speak to you. So going once, going twice, going 3 times, and we are out of here. It is time for us to get into one of my favorite parts of the show, and it is called Hot Topics. Uh-oh. There we go. All right. So first in Hot Topics. Apparently, Cynthia Bailey is leaving the Atlanta Housewives. All right. So I want to know, does anybody care? Those of you guys who watch the Atlanta Housewives, Cynthia Bailey is leaving. Does anybody care? I'm just curious. All right. Well, moving on. Kiana says no. Well, kind of didn't think so. All right. Next in hot topics. So I don't know if many of you guys have seen the reports about Kelly Price. Now, allegedly, it was said that Kelly Price was missing and that her family, i.e., her daughter and her sister, allegedly were not able to find her. They didn't know where she was. They had put her on like the missing persons list. It was just a whole big debacle, if you will. And so finally, Kelly broke her silence yesterday, and she actually spoke about exactly what she's been up to. Let's take a look.
Member is the team of doctors. I woke up some days later, a couple of days later, and the first thing I remember is the team of doctors standing around me and asking me if I knew what year it was.
Wait, when you say they lost you, can you clarify what that means?
Yeah, I died. And the next thing, it was some days later. I remember waking up in ICU and the doctor asking me if I remembered what year it was. I'm sorry, not what day, if I knew what year it was. Going into the hospital, I'd actually had COVID for over a week, but my conditions were progressing in the wrong direction from home. And we're jumping all the way in. So I had it. My husband did not have it. He was taking care of me at home, speaking with my primary care physician, giving me breathing treatments, giving me my medicine every 4 hours. He was in constant communication with her. And eventually he ended up testing positive within a week after I got it and just prior to me going into the hospital. She could see, she was seeing me every day on FaceTime and walking him through administering meds. And when it got to a point, my temperature had raised right to about 103 and my breathing was extremely shallow. And so he called the ambulance. And so I had to go to the hospital. I was discharged. The hospital needed beds. I was able to go home and go home with oxygen, and go home with oxygen and have home health aides come check on me throughout the week, which is what happened for a period of 4 weeks after being released from the hospital. So people were definitely seeing me. The people that could actually say something are not allowed to because of HIPAA law. But I was being seen several times a week by home health aides after being released on oxygen. And I actually just got my first clean COVID test probably exactly a week ago. So I have what is called long COVID. And I am facing a very uphill battle right now. So I'm gonna cry. I have a lot of rehabbing to do. I suffered a lot of internal damage. And so I have a lot of rehabbing to do before I am able to be what I like to call concert ready again. And following the year I've had losing so many people, I had just lost my grandmother before I was diagnosed. And I feel like the only way I can focus on me is to actually focus on me. There were people, I don't know how, fans or whoever they were, coming to my house, people ringing the bell, leaving things at my doorstep, disturbing my neighbors all times of the day and night. I've had that happen. It got to the point, and this wasn't months ago, I literally just left my house maybe a week ago because I couldn't rest there. My doorbell was being rung all hours of the day and night. I turned off everything. I wasn't on social media. It hasn't been 2 months since I've seen my sister. It's been a year. I haven't been in the same room with her since my mother's funeral. Prior to that, we hadn't seen each other all pandemic long. That's not new for us. It's not new for us. We've been strained for a very long time. I was never missing. I was in my home. I was being seen by doctors. First and foremost, with 2 people in the house with COVID. We both had COVID. There was no visiting. There was no visiting the house. We both had active COVID cases. Everyone in my family knew exactly where I was. And I have to say that it's really disappointing that things came to this, but it was not true. And even when it comes to my daughter, I feel like she was easily manipulated. People are saying she's a kid. She's not a kid. She's 27 years old. She's my youngest. But in that situation, she was easily manipulated. And to go along with that, she's my baby. I have never been in danger. I am not in danger.
Wow. So, that cleared a lot of things up for us, especially with a lot of the speculation that was taking place concerning her being missing and things of that nature. Real quick, I just want to acknowledge some people. My sister Shelly Boo. Hey, Shelly, thank you so much for being here. Bishop Jones says, blessings, Pastor Todd. Thank you so much for being here, my brother. Okay, Kiana. Okay. Kevin says she has really gone through recently a lot of death in her immediate family. Yeah, definitely prayers up for that. Kiana said, my whole thing is people were probably really checking on her. That's true. But I'm not sure if she's saying that her and or her immediate family that was in the know were not allowing people to check on her. I just think that it sounds to me that she's saying allegedly there's a little game that was being played by her sister because they don't talk regularly anyway. All rumors, that's sad. Yeah, a lot of rumors here. Kevin said, I still think she should have communicated better with her family. Yeah. To me, guys, this is one of those things where there's so many what ifs. My issue with the stories that, we get is a lot of times we don't get the whole scoop. We get bits and pieces. And so the only thing that we have to build our opinions off of, obviously, is from what we get. With this particular situation, I do feel like I need more. I would need more to make an educated opinion concerning the situation. I would need more information, guys. I'm sorry. I would. That's just me. I would need more information because I'm not sure. Maybe she did. Hey, Miss Jan, maybe she did try to reach out to her family. It's something with the sister and the fact that they don't really talk anyway. And I know how sometimes some family members can try to use other people's fame to try to get themselves out there and make a story out of nothing. And so I just don't know. I don't know enough about the whole story to make an educated comment. Kiana said that was the whole situation. That whole situation was just crazy. I agree. 110% agree. It was just crazy. All right. So last thing in Hot Topics today, we got to move on, guys. Right, Kevin, family drama. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Mr. R. Kelly was found guilty of all 9 counts of his charges of sexual assault. And so with that being said, a lot of people have been, that's right, Keisha, she said, that's crazy, though, but we don't know the whole story. That's right, we don't know the whole story. All right, but on this story, R. Kelly was found guilty of all 9 counts. However, a lot of people have been wondering, will he be able to appeal the decisions? Which I think is an interesting question that was posed by a lot of his fans, because they're like, okay, well, he's found guilty. Is there going to be an opportunity for him to actually appeal the decision? Take a look at this.
NBC legal analyst Danny Savalos. And Danny, Stephanie kind of hinted to this idea that the prosecutors had to get a bit creative in order to get some of these cases in front of a jury. Does that increase the likelihood, the chances of appeal here?
Stephanie's exactly right. Arguably, the defense's biggest asset in this case was the complexity and arguably the awkwardness of applying federal racketeering charges to a person who now is convicted of using his business in order to satisfy his sexual urges. It's not the traditional application of racketeering law. Normally, that's been applied to mafia-type defendants who are engaged in loan sharking or money laundering, not Mann Act violations, which is transporting women across state lines to commit sexual crimes. So while you do have an awkward application of federal RICO statutes here, on appeal, because the law is written so broadly and so favorably to prosecutors, there are less avenues for appeal. But of course, to the criminal defendant, there is always something to appeal upon conviction.
So, I mean, again, that's another one where we really just don't know. We don't know if they're going to allow him to appeal or not. Doesn't look likely. Ashley says, I don't think he will be able to appeal. Yeah, it doesn't look likely, Ashley. I agree with that. Kiana says, I seen a post today that said, somebody check on Kelly Clarkson. It comes in threes. That is hilarious. Kevin Moore says, now when are they going to lock up Trump? Exactly, Kevin. That's what I want to know. And Keisha says, wow. All right, y'all. Kiana says, that's what I'm saying. Ashley says, laugh my okay off. All right. Thank y'all so much. That wraps it up for Hot Topics. I'm super excited because I want you guys, I want us to have a nice amount of time to talk to Samson tonight. He's got some incredible things going on, and he is here. Before we bring him out, though, you know, every time I bring a guest on, I always like to share some things that one of my favorite pieces by them. And we're going to do a lot of talking about his singing career and things of that nature. However, I want to talk about his acting as well. And there's a movie I saw a few years back, and I want to say it came out around 2011. It was called Breathe. And I remember when I saw this film, and Samson was he was one of the he had one of the starring roles, and I tell you, his chemistry with the other lead actress and just his overall acting was impeccable. I was just so impressed with the way he articulated this character. And so I want to share the trailer with you just so you can kind of get a glimpse for those of you guys who haven't seen this movie. And when we come back, we'll bring Sam out.
In the beginning, we had it all. We fell in love. We had commitment. We even bought a house. And we couldn't wait to fill it with life. This was my dream. But the dream turned into a nightmare.
There has to be something that can be done. She's in a lot of pain.
That's your body reacting to your pregnancy. There's really no cause for alarm.
What is going on with you?
I've actually been a little concerned about the weight gain.
How much weight have you gained?
Since you got married, all you want to sing is these corny love songs.
You're okay, and the baby is doing well. So relax.
This is not insecurities. This is intuition. All of this is going to be over soon, and you're going to have a beautiful baby girl.
Listen, I don't know what your wife expects, but everything she's complaining about is 100% normal.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Help me.
Your wife's in critical condition. Preeclampsia is known as a silent killer, and it masks itself inside of normal pregnancy symptoms.
It's not silent. It was speaking loud and clear, but you weren't listening.
This is Angela Bergen Logan.
I can't breathe like that.
And this is my story.
Whatever happened, you must be on the same page. Whatever page that may be, it has to be the same one.
Ooh, couldn't you feel that even from the trailer? Incredible. Y'all put your hands together for my friend and brother, Samson Logan.
Whoa. Yes. Got the whole crowd.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Man, things are well. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you too. We've been trying to do this for a while. I'm glad we finally connected and got it right.
Man,
we're here at the appointed time.
Here. There it is, man, at the appointed time. You know, a lot of times we try to rush things, but God has a whole nother plan. But when he's in it, man, that's it. I mean, it always happens when it's supposed to. So we're excited about it.
I tell everybody a set time is coming, and this is the set time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely.
Much. Well, man, I'm great, man. I'm doing really, really well. It's funny because so many people have been messaging me like, oh my gosh, they had so many questions and so many things they wanted me to ask you.
That's
and
awesome.
So yeah, I'm super excited about it, man. So thanks again for doing this and being here with me tonight, man.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it. You know, and I've been watching your favorite Fridays, and man, I'm telling you, that's been absolutely incredible.
Yes.
And, we're gonna jump into that a little bit more.
Absolutely.
My cousin's so funny. She's talking about ask questions. She was one I saw. She had posted a question earlier. She's like, "Is he single?" I'm like, "No."
Oh.
I don't know.
Right.
Everybody's saying looks like a great movie. Yes, Breathe. If you guys haven't seen Breathe, where can they see Breathe now? Amazon still has it, right?
Amazon Prime, and actually is a new platform called Tubi, Tubi.
Yes,
you can pull that up on your phone right now. It is one of the featured films. It was in 137 countries. God has been amazing with that, and we're still excited about it. It's still going strong. So I mean, the message got out, and instead of doing, we was going to do one of those sit downs. We just give information, but no, God gave us to do a movie, and I got on the phone with some of my friends. Robin Gibbons, Elise Neal, Jasmine Lewis, she played the opposite lead, Miguel Nunez, and everybody agreed to come on. We shot that film in 10 days, and it turned out to be a great success. Yes, my budget.
It's a masterpiece, brother.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. We got the message across, and it's still doing. Actually, it did the best in Africa. For some reason, I do the best in Africa because the pandemic is so strong over there. We're in the other pandemic now, but they'll still have a pandemic of preeclampsia going on in Africa. Wow. And because childbirth is crazy over there. The medical situation is not really up to par. And so they're dealing with this thing. So the messages got out, and we're excited about it. We got a lot of great testimonies throughout the years, and we're still excited about it.
Awesome. Jan says, oh yes, I have to buy. Can't wait to see it. That's right. Make sure you check it out. My assistant is on her job. She says, watch Breathe on Amazon Prime and to buy. Thank you, Keisha. I appreciate you. Yes.
Yeah, tell Keisha I appreciate it.
Yes, Keisha.
I appreciate it, Keisha.
Ashley says it's a good movie. Definitely made me cry. Listen, it was no onions with me when I was watching it, and I was like, whoa. I mean,
no onions. Okay.
Wasn't no onions, but my eyes was a little watery, brother.
Right.
I mean,
right. No,
it was so, by it being based on a true story, it was so raw and so real. And I think that's what a lot of moviegoers even want to see now. They want to see the real. They want to be able to engage, and they want to be able to relate. And Breathe is one of those movies, even if it's something that your wife or your sister or someone hasn't dealt with, or your family, your husband, you and your wife, it's something that someone who's dealt with it, a family member, a friend, and you can certainly relate to the storyline. It's powerful.
Absolutely. We're excited about that. And people are getting the message, and it's really necessary. It's really necessary.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. Ashley says, I suffered from it too. It definitely takes a toll. Wow.
Yeah. And what's crazy? The reason why we did it, one of the main reasons we did it is because it really affects women of color more so than our white sisters. Because what happens is when it doesn't affect the white, crowd and the white race, they don't really put much behind it. Ooh,
Right.
maybe I shouldn't have said that on live, but it's the truth. So we have
Allegedly,
to
they
stand
don't.
up. Allegedly, they don't. But what happened is we because our doctor, we had one of the best in the business, and he didn't have no idea. So you know what I mean. So everything in the storyline, we asked some actors and made it a little more exciting, but it was a true story.
You know, and I
Most
love
definitely.
how in the film, not to give it away, how when the doctor came in and said, we had no idea, you're like, well, all the signs were there. What do you mean
Right.
you had no idea?
Exactly. You think
And
we
I
all eat
think we've
fried
all
chicken and everything every day?
I think we've all kind of heard stories like that, even if it's not preeclampsia, it's something else where all the symptoms were there. And it's like, well, we
Right.
don't see anything, or our tests aren't finding. And it's like, oh no, you didn't need a test. It was right in front of your face.
It
A
was right in front
blind
of your
man could have
face.
saw it. So
Absolutely. Yeah. It was right there in front of your face and you didn't see it because you weren't really looking. So we can see it, we can be looking and don't see it. So that's what we're trying to get across.
awesome. And I want to
Yes,
talk
sir.
about your acting career. Obviously we met on the road doing plays, and that's something
Yes.
that you're very well known for.
Absolutely.
You have an incredible ability to really captivate an audience, I tell you.
Man, I appreciate that.
Oh man, yeah. I still go back and I go on YouTube and I watch some of your clips because it's education for me. I
It
watch
is.
how you're able to really embody the characters. And
Yes, sir.
that's something that across the country, when people see plays, they're looking for your name. I wonder if Sam's going to be in there. Samson in this one, because
Exactly.
and a lot of times you play the heartthrob, so the ladies are waiting. They're waiting. They want to know if you're coming. They want to know, is there going to be a shirtless scene? Is there going to be this?
Right. When I was known for that, man, for years, it was like every play I couldn't get away from it. From Tyler Perry to Carius Johnson to David
Yes.
Talbert. I always had to do that part. But hey, it was a good check and it was a great experience.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And a lot of people think it's easy to get up there and do your thing. Everybody think they can act. But until you get up there and experience it, you've been up there in these stages.
Oh, yeah.
There's no cut in live theater. So when you up there and you rolling and you walk out on that stage,
Oh, yeah.
you got to deliver. And if you don't deliver, you better do something until you get off that stage. So
That's
I
right.
love
And
it. Live theater is the best.
I think that's what I like the most about it, Sam, is that you get one shot. That's it. All the
That's
rehearsing
it.
and stuff is great, but I love the adrenaline rush, and I love the feeling that I get from the audience when I know that they're engaged and they're with you. They're on the edge of their seat. I think it's nothing like it. I like film, but stage is incredible. That feeling.
Because no matter how you can do 8 shows a week, and every night is brand new. Because it's a different audience, it's a different energy in the place, it's a different vibe, a different synergy with the other characters, and a lot of times your mind can be somewhere else. And you can get a brain freeze, but you have to come back and you have to deliver because the people are waiting and they don't know, so you have to deliver it. But you have to deliver with confidence, and most of all, is a play. You have to have fun, and people don't have fun, and that's what really messed a lot of people up. They were so intimidated and they were so nervous. And intimidated because of the audience in the third wall. They didn't have fun, and that made it bad. So I always had fun. So that's what made it so great for me.
But I do want to tell a little secret that people who may not have worked with you before don't know is that you have fun, your skills are there, but you're professional. And what I appreciate about you is you make even your leading lady, you make them feel really comfortable. There's no, a lot of people think like, I wonder if they hook up off the stage. It's like, no, there's none of that crazy stuff. Sam is such a professional. And I think that for me, that was so heartwarming to watch because, I had never played a part like that before. I probably never will. I don't have.
You can. No, you got it.
I'm no Samson Logan. Listen. But the thing that I learned is that, the level of professionalism that you operate in and excellence, and it was always such a pleasure to watch. So kudos to you for that.
Man, I appreciate that. I appreciate it because what happens is once you get out there, my first thing is I'm so hard on myself. First thing when I get the script is no fun, is no gaming, is no going out to eat. I'm in the room for 48 hours, 72 hours learning that script. I order in room service, but I'm in that script. So when I get the rehearsal, most of the time I'm already off book because that's the most important thing, being prepared. People say, "No, I'm a learning rehearsal." No, you rehearse before you prepare. You got to prepare for rehearsals.
That's
in
right.
this business. And now you'll find out when you start getting bitten with the bigger productions, if you're not prepared for rehearsal, you're not prepared. And people say, I'm prepared for rehearsal. No, you better go to that studio because they're going to be back there in that mic in the middle of the audience and they're going to be freeze, leave the stage, get somebody else on the phone, fly somebody else.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And I think what people don't realize, especially as they're coming up, that being off book is such an advantage because a lot of times blocking is so challenging when you just don't know your lines. You sound like you're reading because you are,
You are.
So
right.
once you actually get those lines, then you can really be directed. And I think most directors, that's what they're waiting for. They're waiting for you to get off book so they can see what you really have.
Right, because you delay the process when you're not prepared. You stop them from doing what they need to do. So but it's fun at the end of the day.
I love what Pastor Sayed just says. He says, there's no private preparation, there's no public platform. Wait, if there's no private preparation, there's no public platform. I love that.
That's Cedric. That's an amazing. That's so true. If you don't prepare, you have to prep yourself, and you're prepared. You can get out there and you can perform. But if without the preparation, there is no performance. Preparation precedes your blessing, and if you don't have the preparation, the blessing will be delayed. So that's what people need to understand.
Yeah, my cousin is such a host. Here she is. What is he working on next? Ma'am, would you let me do my job tonight? She's a personality, so she does the same thing. She's ready. She's moving me along here. But
I love your audience.
Right. My question to you is, what do you prefer, the stage or film?
Wow, I get this question all the time, but it's such a different dynamic in both. I mean, the stage, like we said earlier, is the live gratification, is the immediate response from the audience. It's like you have them in your hand. They're so into what you're doing. And if you're not into what you're doing, they can feel that. They can feel your energy. And if you're not giving off the energy, it'll bomb. But but when you get on the camera on a set, it's a whole different energy. It's like you in a room and it could be you and one other person. There's 20 people behind the camera and you sitting there trying to create a scene and it's cut. All right, get another one close up on the face. And it's like it's a whole different thing. So I think in the long run you love film because you can go back and keep watching it. But for the short term, you want to get out there in that stage. And that's why a lot of big time artists, even today, Oscar award winners, they go back and do theater between movies because that's where it's at. You can never get that. You can't replace that.
Absolutely. So, why don't we go with her question? What is next? Are you working on any plays, any films?
You know what? I actually, we talked. You mentioned Favorite Friday earlier. We're working on Favorite Friday as a real show. We're looking at studios right now in negotiation with a lot of people. I'm looking to get behind the camera or in the business area side as a producer, because a lot of times people love the fame, but I want the fortune too. Come on now, I want fame, fortune, and all of it. I want all three. So we've been working on. Me and the team been working on got some things brewing up on the production side, executive producing on TV shows. Favorite Friday will be coming out as a real network television show. And I haven't did any plays lately because I've been kind of holding off because I've been getting asked, but I've been holding off because I'm really trying to establish this thing. And of course, we're about to drop new music. The last music, we'll probably get into that. It went so well. We already got the video shot for the next single. The next single is done. It's incredible. It's going to be a little controversial, but I think it's good controversy that we need. It's a different form of ministry. I think everybody don't have to get on organ preaching to do ministry. It's a different form of ministry. And right now the world needs that.
Absolutely.
So it's the music. We got TV shows. We got, it's coming.
Well, let's transition a little bit. Okay. And I want to jump right into it. Of course, I wanted to kind of go back down memory lane and ask how you began singing. So let's start there, and then I'll kind of come up to some newer questions.
It's crazy. Nobody in my family sung. I started out as a church kid. My mom joined this church, and she actually a good friend, Pastor Caesar. and they were really, really good friends. So as a kid, I used to go to Shirley Caesar's crusades, and I would be enamored watching her band. I used to hang out with the band as a child, seeing the little balls on the mirrors, the little dressing rooms, and I would see them and I'd just be enamored how they're getting ready for the stage. And I would stand behind in the wing of the curtain and see them as a child, and they'd be on the playing this. I would see Shirley, how she had a crowd in her hand. You know what I mean? It blew me away. I said, this is what I want to do. So I started mimicking it. You know, the best form of flattery and best form of getting the progress is practice and start to mimic. And I started to mimic people. Nobody in my family sung. So I'm just finding myself singing and riffing and practicing riffs all day, riffing. And just mimic everything, every riff I can get my hands on until I got perfected it. And then, you know, what's crazy as when I was on the road with Shirley as a teenager, her MD is Mike Mathis. He's my godfather. And I used to go out on the road 13, 14, and I used to sell records while they're on stage. And I was doing my thing. And when I got to be about 17, one of the band members, one of the singers missed the show. And they were late. And I'm like, Shirley, I was like 5 heartbeats. I could do the part. I can do the part. I know all the parts. I know all the parts. She gave me a shot. I messed up a few times. But guess what? About a few months later, I had to roll. You know, I rocked it for about 5 years as a season singer. So it was from there. It just went on. It went on from overseas and Hong Kong, Australia, Singapore. The Lord just took all over the world. So I think I'm fortunate to have done what I've done.
You know, one thing someone had wrote me and wanted me to ask is, what do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself a gospel artist or an inspirational artist or just an artist?
That's a great question. You know, I consider myself like a pharmacist. I call my music medicine music. And I just started my company. It's Lace Entertainment. It's all around. It's singer, it's acting. Is my job and my mantle, I think, on this planet is to inspire and to uplift people. I've always done that, even when I didn't want to do it. When I'm depressed, people call me to get inspired, and I got to try to inspire them and uplift them, even though I'm going through some things. But I find myself being uplifted through doing what I'm mantled to do, and it's amazing how God works when you're purpose for something. The purpose of God will prevail at the end of the day. So I call myself in my music medicine music. So I don't really like to say R&B. I don't want to say as a gospel singer. I don't call it country because I like country too. So, but it will be on my next project. Will be some R&B songs. People consider R&B, quote unquote R&B. But I think it's love, because I think the ministry of love is necessary. I mean, God is love, and people say that, but they don't really understand that. That's why, you know, divorce is like 60% divorce rate going on in this country. Now, every 10 minutes there's a divorce. So that means somebody's not ministering to people. There's not being enough on that side. People like to get into Oregon and God gonna do it. He gonna get the money, and that's cool. But you know, but we need to, every aspect of our lives need to be ministered to. And so I don't like that being in the box. I've always been a cat that outside the box, and I was always, you knew me from back in the day. I've always been the guy to do some the extra, you know, push the button a little bit further. Pull it a little further than I should, because I think it's necessary, because God is so, he's so ridiculous, and his ways above our ways, and his thoughts are far above our thoughts, and what we think we have is God ain't studying that. He's so big. He just want to get it to the masses. So even when people say I have degrees, you have a degree. I don't care if you have a master. You have a degree of what God has. So we all have a degree. So my little part, I feel like I'm an artist. So you know, I'm an artist. Gospel. I do some R&B. I mean, I ain't gonna do no crazy stuff, you know. But but I'm gonna do some love stuff. I'm gonna promote love. I'm gonna promote inspiration. Anything you come on page and see, you know me. It's gonna be inspiring. It's gonna be uplifting. It's gonna be a lot based on ministry, based on scripture. And that's my main thing. You know, I'm not going to see me quoting the Bible, having a big Bible all the time with the cross, and you better be saved, you're going to hell. No, I mean, because that's not attractive. I mean,
not only that, I always say the best form of witnessing is your life. The Bible says, let your light so shine that men may see your good works. So it's not toting the Bible, it's not quoting scripture, it's living. And that could be living through your music. And what I appreciate about your music, Sam, is that it's very relatable. Just like we talked about the movie, your music is relatable. And see,
thank you, I appreciate that.
You know, Christians, they love. Christians, you know, you have a song about proposing. Christians, you know, they get married. They court someone and they get married. And there's
Absolutely.
something called, there's a different type of love other than agape love that they
Yes.
And so,
Yes, sir.
you just talked about Shirley Caesar. Well, we're not sweeping through the city when we're in the bedroom. Come on, somebody.
Right. Absolutely. Now you teaching.
I don't want to hear about mama in a special way,
Absolutely.
when in times with your significant other. So, I mean, that's when you can put on that love song by Samson, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, and even when you'd be surprised the people that's hurt sitting alone by themselves, crying, drinking wine right now because they smiling during the day at work, but then they get to the crib, they just depressed and because they need that word. And the gospel stations, they ain't gonna have a gospel station on. They may have an R&B station on, but if I can get something across to you, and you can feel that anointing in that song, that will do something that will touch your spirit, let you know it's okay to go on another little while longer. I mean, it's gonna be all right. Just get through the night. It's gonna be all right in the morning. They need to feel that. And we have to get to them. So we have to be strategic and smart, even as artists. We have to be strategic. And they're not gonna have TD Jakes on the hip hop station, R&B stations. But they're not gonna have Shirley Caesar out there. But we have to let our light shine even in whatever we're doing and represent the kingdom.
Absolutely. Now
yes, sir.
Let's talk about Favor.
Okay. Oh, I like that.
Yes, sir. First of all, incredible record. Just
thank you, sir.
Just incredible. So, and what I like about it, it has a different flavor to it. And I think it's a little different than what I even expected from you. And when I heard this, I was like, okay, Sam, like I see you. It's got a different little groove to it. But
Absolutely.
It's super hot. But tell us how that song came about.
You know what? We were slated to do the song I'm about to drop now. We were slated to do that. But what happened was last year, it started with Kobe Bryant in January. And then we had the pandemic start to hit. People started getting nervous. And then we had the George Floyd thing. The country was in a disarray. Everybody was nervous. And everything in the atmosphere was negative and fear. And the devil thrives on fear. And the more fear you hear, the more disruption there is. And where there's disruption and confusion, there's every evil work. And God was just telling me, I was talking about that. It was like, we have to get the word out that God is still in control.
Yeah.
So how do we do that? He said, we have to start a conversation about favor. So my dad says, talk about favor, supernatural favor. So, I mean, we got with this producer here, a young guy named Enoch, great producer. And I told him I need some Afro beat. I want something vibe. I want, you feel like you're on the island. People need to feel that. I mean, there's something about music, no matter what you're going through. You can put the right song on. It'll change the atmosphere where you are. It'll change your mood. It'll change your synergy. It's something about music. So we put it on. We start singing the record. I just wanted people. Now I ain't wanted a whole lot of music. I ain't want no organ.
Right.
I just wanted something where you can sing along. Supernatural favor. Yeah. It's just really vibing. Island, almost like you're on a cruise. One single visit. People just need to know there's one single visit from God. Your whole situation can change in a few minutes. God don't take long to do nothing. He's El Shaddai. He's Jehovah Jireh. Everything you need, he has. And the scripture, I love the scripture says, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. No, it's not what I need, I want. So there's some things I want. And if we believe this thing, if we really believe like we say we believe, and here's the thing, I go a step further. Watch this. It's more than just believing. Demons believe, but they just tremble. You have to believe to the point where I'm going to go do the record. I'm going to go write that book. I'm going to go produce my own show. And step out there, give God something to bless, and he will bless the works of your hand. So favor begin to go. We got that thing together, and I gave it to the record labels, and we talked with RCA. We talked to a couple other people. And you know what happened was they wasn't doing what I wanted to do, and they wanted to drop it when they wanted to drop it. So we started Slogan Entertainment. We dropped it ourselves. We don't need to wait till next year. The favors needed right now. It's necessary right now. So we did it ourselves. We stepped out on nothing, and God supplied the money to push that thing on radio, because stuff ain't just free. People think you can put a record on Facebook. No. It's a lot to this thing. So we got the right people in place. And oh my God, we got the right, and God began to one thing after the other, to after one thing after the other, to the next thing I know, we're nominated for the video of the year. Got a crazy video for the record. And it's just, God, once you make up your mind, you're going to do it. Why sit here and die when God has everything you need at your disposal.
Yes,
so,
sir.
I mean, that's kind of how Favor came into being, man. It was a necessary record for the time. And I don't know how God was going to do it, but he did it. We got to be like 17 on the charts and without a major. So you know how hard that is.
Oh, gosh.
And, oh, my goodness. So and Slogan Entertainment, I did it on my own label. And God is yet moving. And we're going to do the next one on my own label. Why use the majors when we can do it ourselves?
That's right. And, you know, the other thing, Sam, is it was a big radio record. The video, of course, you were nominated for a Stellar for Video of the Year, which was just absolutely amazing. But I think the fact that you touched so many people with this record, I mean, across the country, people are still talking about Favor and how it's been a blessing. As a matter of fact, let's take a moment. I want to show them the video and we'll come back and talk a little more.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Let's do it.
You're the air that I breathe, my source of energy. Yes, you set my soul free. So clear you favor me. I'm so thankful for favor. Yeah, I'm so grateful for favor. It takes one single visit from you and my life has been shifted. So thankful for favor. Yeah, you made me say, oh, the supernatural favor. Yeah, takes one single visit from you and my life has been shifted. So thankful for favor. I pray you send to me no pain, no victory. Hey, love thy enemy, protect my family. I'm so thankful for favor. Yeah, I'm so grateful for favor. It takes one single visit from you and my life has been shifted. So thankful for favor. Yeah, you made me say, yeah, oh, the supernatural favor. Yeah, one single visit from you and my life has been shifted. So thankful for favor.
Okay, so we're not gonna act like we didn't hear that great run. There was a really incredible run in that song, and
yes, sir.
If I could, I would do it. If I could, I would do it.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it. Yes, no, come on now. You got it. I've heard you. I've heard your record.
Oh man,
yeah. Just had to put a little bit. Just put a little bit of that soul in it. You know, I want to keep it basic. Just give it a little bit. You know.
Man, it feels so good. Like, oh my gosh, it's just so uplifting. Yeah. Tell everybody where they can get that record now.
Oh, you can get Apple Music, Spotify. I mean, everything, every place where they have Music Sold digitally. You can go get it right now. Go check it out. Get the video. Love it. I appreciate it. Your people are loving it, man. I appreciate it. It's a great. And I really wanted the video to be a visual of what favor would be. You know, we went to the Mojave Desert, and we went to Big Bear, to the forest, and we went to the lake. And we went on. It was about water. It was about the air. It was about open. God's favor is amazing. We're not bottled up in nothing. God is so big. He's so gigantic. It's nothing that he can't do. So I wanted people to see that. You know, if you can't even hear it, people can not see. You put the sound down, you can see favor on the video with the sunlight, just walking into the presence of God. That's what we wanted, and I think we came across really well.
Absolutely. And now, tell us about your label. I mean, are you going to be looking for other artists anytime soon, or?
Yeah, you know, I hadn't even thought that far ahead. You know, it was birthed because we was like, we're not going to wait on nobody no more. You know, the day of waiting is God's time is so valuable, and we don't want to take advantage of the time. We don't want to waste time. So when God say move, it's time to move, and I'm not going to let somebody tell us what we can do and what we can't do. So yeah, I mean, I'm sure in the future we will be doing that. I'm gonna do another one on there on the label, and we of course want to build it because I want to. If I bring anybody into the family, I want to have the access and the vehicle to take them to the next level. I don't want to bring them on and hurt them. I want to be able to be, you know, a great asset to them. So I think we're getting to that place where we're really getting the plugs. We're getting the team together. We have the finances coming where we really can be, because it takes money. Let's keep it real. Money is a tool. The Bible say that, you know, money answers all things. You know, the love of money is evil, but money is necessary. You know, so we just have to be taught the right way. And I think the money is coming that we need to take it to the next level before it can soar. So I'm definitely going to be bringing people on over the next year. And I think that when you start seeing what God is doing on the television side, I think we're going to be in position to really be a blessing to people. And that's what's successful to me, is being in position to bless others. Everybody can have your own, be selfish, and have a big car and all that. No, that's cool. We have plenty of cars. It's time to be put in position so we can be a blessing. It's one thing to inspire, but it's another thing to feed somebody. Somebody hungry, they don't want to be saved when they're hungry. I mean, they ain't gonna hear about God save. You know, let's get a sandwich and let's get you together so you can hear. So I want to be in a position where I can be a blessing, and I think that's what God is doing.
All right. My assistant says Apple Music, Spotify favors Sam Logan. Get it. Ain't she on it, man? Ain't she on it?
She on it. I appreciate it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
She says all his music. Check him out. Come on, Keisha.
Come on, Keisha. I appreciate that.
She be on it, man. Now, there was a question that came in, Angel. There it is. What has been your greatest obstacle that you've had to overcome to get to this moment?
Wow. You know, that's an excellent question. The greatest obstacle I've had to this point, I think the greatest obstacle is me. I think sometimes we can sit in our own way with fear and anxiety and don't believe you deserve to be in a certain position, or you feel like I can't do that, or I can't do this, or, you know what I'm saying, you're not trusting God. I mean, I think we have to get out of our own way sometime. Preparation precedes the blessing. I think the more you prepare, the more you're ready for that opportunity, because opportunities are coming. And a lot of us have had opportunities. I can look back and see how many opportunities I've had. And a lot of times when you're not prepared for that moment and you can seize that moment, it's not God's fault. You can't say, God ain't, why are you doing me like that? No, sometimes it's our own fault. So I think once you get out your own way and you really believe God can do this, I mean, you'll see yourself soar. Because a few years ago, I never would have thought I could come out on my own label. You know what I mean? I never would have thought I could do this on my. I never thought I could be on TV sets with the big boys per se. But when I got to the place where I got to LA, and I'm like, who is the big boys?
Right.
I'm a big boy. We all are big boys. I mean, what makes a difference between somebody super successful and you is opportunity, and they're prepared for the opportunity. So if we really want it and we prepare ourselves, I believe God will open doors and will give us. And sometimes He opens the doors and we don't have the courage to walk through. So once you prepare yourself, you'll build the stamina and the courage that when that door opens, you're like, I can do this. You know what I mean? So, that's the devil's biggest weapon is fear. And if he don't care if you go to church, he don't care all that stuff you talk. But if you can speak in tongue and all that. But if you, after church over, you don't do nothing, your dream will never manifest because you're still asleep. You know what I mean? So it's time to wake up and get busy so we can move forward.
Yes, sir. Now, I have two more questions, and I'm going to let you go because
Okay.
I've kept you
Okay.
longer than I've said. But
It's okay. It's okay. You know, we are church, but we get to church, we be all right once we get there.
Right. Speaking of church, one question someone wanted to ask, because now recently we saw you ministering.
Okay, yeah.
And so ministering the word, not just in song. And so people are wanting to know, is that something that they can expect more from you with ministering the word?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm a preacher's kid. So
yeah,
I've been preaching all my life. So I just, I moved to LA and I've been trying to do other things. So yeah, I'm a PK. So absolutely. I think I'm going to do more of that now. And I think, but nowadays it was such a stigma on preachers. So you'd be like scared to step out there, because once you say I'm a preacher, everything you do, you can't do that. You can't do this. No,
we're
forget
so
that.
glad
This
those
new
days
day.
are over.
Yeah. I don't think we should be ridiculous, because some of these pastors are ridiculous. But
yeah.
But I think it's a thing where ministry has a lot to do with my whole life. I mean, everything I do, even my Facebook posts, is all about ministry and giving somebody some nuggets to wisdom. And so definitely I not only that, I got my theology. I got masters and bachelors in theology. We got qualified to do it, so we don't just say we can do it and get up there. People nowadays are not ignorant like they were. People know words, so they want you to give them some revelation,
yes, sir.
and so they can feel some manifestation in their life, because people are struggling. One thing about nowadays, we got more information. The manifestation of God's manifestation hasn't been taking place because people got more information, but they don't believe. It's so crazy nowadays. Back in the day, we didn't have all this information, but now that we got smartphones and all kind of stuff, we don't believe. So I think it's really time for us to really take our ministry to the next level and transition, so people can really get this thing. But ministry definitely part of the future. Absolutely.
Awesome. Last thing, real quick, not really a story, but I was doing a show with Tony Grant and Sean Blakemore. And I remember one day we sat down, we were in a little huddle having a conversation, because at the time Tony was running from rehearsal and he was taping with Tyler Perry for I forgot, a sitcom or whatever. And I remember asking him, like, man, you're working here. Why are you running like this? And he said, man, because, you have to get it while the getting is good. And he began to share with me about having multiple streams of income. And at the time I was complaining, because although I've had a chance to be on stage with a lot of people, a lot of things has been limited for me because I work a job. I have a career outside of that. And I remember telling him, like, I don't want that. This is what I want to be my full-time career. And I remember Tony Grant saying to me, don't you dare quit your job. What? He says, listen, this industry is very interesting. He said, and if you do, you make sure that you have other streams of income, because you never know when your next script may come.
Wow. And he is 100% right.
So how important is it to have multiple streams?
Man, that's the super. And first of all, let's keep it real. That's biblical. I mean, God has given us all these talents, and we're going to be held accountable for not using our talents. We're not given talents just to sit there. We're given talents to use them in the earth. Go occupy till I come. That's Bible. That word occupy means go do business. So I think it's very important to have multiple streams, because first of all, now that the music business is not what it was. I mean, back in the day, you used to get $300,000 music video budgets, but nowadays you got to go to a record label prepared. You got to have a record done. You got to have not just a record done. That's a great record, because you can have a great record still on your sign. They want to see what you got on social media, how many fans you got, how many followers you got. It's a whole lot involved with this thing. And so even when you hear these stories all the time, people have hit records and next thing you know, they broke or they struggling or they have McDonald's or something. Because what happens is we feel like we so used to not having money and having material things, that when we get it, we lose it. You know what I mean? We want to get the biggest car and the biggest. We just that's why we have to be educated more so with life, with love and life, and not just with organ at church. Because once the money come, the blessings come, how are you gonna handle it? You have to use God's resources wisely and multiple income to where it is. Because if you do a good record and then you know how this music is. You can have a great record. Now you got to go work it. Now you got to have a team. You got to work it right. You got to go get some gigs. You got to make some T-shirts. You got to do this here because the record sales, the streams don't come like it used to.
No.
So that's why I used to tell people I hate the internet. I love the internet, and I love the way things are going now. But back in the day, we would have a lot of money with this music thing. But now,
because one thing, we would go on the road, and that's where we made the bulk of our money. But we're in a situation now where we can't travel like we used to. Crowds are not as large as they used to be. You can't sit. People don't necessarily want. I don't even have a CD player in my car, so people don't necessarily want a CD. They just download it digitally. They're not looking for covers and pictures like that anymore.
Right. I mean, back in the day, so and that kills your whole. That's a lot of income gone. And you'd be surprised if people have conversations with that's major, and they be like, "Yo, I'm struggling." Last year put a real hurting on people, and I thought the pandemic came, and it was a wake up call, not to just the regular people, but to so-called celebrities and people with influence, because it took a hurting on them, because God want to put us in a position where we don't forget Him. He said He has something against us. We forgot our first love, so it hit the churches hard. The doors shut. So a lot of people that was depending on churches for income, you were out. A lot of people were out. So you'd be surprised. People were going on the road every week, making money on the road. Not just gospel singers, R&B singers. Everybody was really hurting last year. So, like you said, back to that multiple stream of income, you need to have a business here. You need to have a business here. Your wife need to have a business here, and you need to do some stuff over here, because you're one sickness away from all your money being gone or something like that.
Gone.
What do you do when So you have to be wise as a serpent and harmless as a dove. I mean, so we have to go occupy and get out there and write that book and do it. Even when you're on your job, you can do your job, but you still work on your craft. Don't just stop that, because it just takes more grind. We got to get out there and do If you're a writer, write it. If you're an actor, get acting classes on Saturdays, or you're a preacher, get to studying every night. I mean, take the book on the road or on break, but you have to work hard. And it's more than just a music check. You need a music check. You need a writer's check. You need a church check. You need a T-shirt check. You need this business. You need that business. Yeah. I mean, the sky's the limit. Why are we putting ourselves in the box anyways?
That's right.
I mean, this is why I told you earlier in the interview, we're working on other things, but we got to get behind the camera. We got to do this here. We got to do some business here. It's very important, because it takes finance to really make this thing move.
Yeah.
So we will not be deceived. God is not marked.
That's right. But see, I think that's the part of the business, Sam, that people don't really understand. And I think there's a lot of aspiring artists who may even watch the replay and watch this and say, I've always wanted to be signed. And I don't think they understand what that means as an artist, especially today. You talked about how you have to have a finished product, but what people don't understand is when you sign to a label, that's like you getting a credit card.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is you have a label that puts up all this money for you to go record, all this money for radio promoters, for this, that, and the third, whatever it takes to push your record. But guess what? You have to pay all that money back
before you see a dime.
And so people don't realize there are a lot of people, famous people, or well-known people, or folks that are signed that are broke. They even looking good. Because guess what? Label gonna make sure you're looking good and you got hair and makeup. That's collecting on your tab. And you don't make a dime until that's paid back. And then a lot of times you don't get a second record till it's paid back. And if you do get a second record, it's just gonna continue the tab.
And a lot of people on their third record still paying for their first. See, this is why I don't think about the records like that. When you get those budgets, I used to be signed with Motown. I was signed with Arista back in the day. I was with Devontae Swing. And you used to be surprised the money you go through, but you have to pay all those bids, all those things. And I remember my Atmosphere record, when I went back and I talked to Kedar Massenberg, he's huge. He was over Motown. The Atmosphere record made over $500,000, but how much did you see? You know what I mean? It's like, so when they start paying for videos and they don't get the cheap stuff, they get the top notch. They pay for your travel and your clothing and your hotel. That's why these young artists saying, put me in the Ritz-Carlton and put me in this here. No, Put me in the Marriott, in the courtyard. Let me. So let's keep the tab on these things, because you're trying to live big boss, and when the tour's over, they're gonna take most of the money. So it's very deceiving. It's fun, and I don't want to discourage young artists. Keep doing your thing, but you have to be smart. You have to really pick up a book and be educated on some things, because it's one thing to get advances and all that type of stuff, but you have to understand it's an advance on what you're going to make in the future. So thank God for the deals, but just be smart.
You got to understand that sometimes they advance something, but then they don't really push you to where you're able to make enough to make your money back or start to make money. Because they put all this up, but then they promoting the artist that's more well known than they're promoting you. And so what happens is,
go
ahead. I'm sorry, Sam.
And then sometimes they sign you to block you from going to block their other artists. So they'll put you on a shelf. So it's like you feel, this guy is coming.
Yes,
like I said before, I seen labels. Even it's crazy. Stella Awards this year, we seen a couple big labels. And they're like, yo, so you didn't need us. I said, absolutely right. We coming without you, Doc. Slogan Entertainment came because I was gonna get put on the shelf.
That's
and
right.
You put out when you want to put it. No, we don't have time to wait no more. Now is the appointed time. And that's what we have to tell ourselves. Now is the appointed time. If God gives you a dream, you have to go for it. And it's not in 10 years. It's now. You know what I mean?
It's now.
Yeah. But you got to be careful, man. These labels will get you. And I understand they got to get their money back, but you have to be smart and don't try to be getting Rolls Royce and Benz and all this type of stuff. And, until you establish yourself as an artist. Love the craft. See, back in the day, we used to love the energy. We used to love the music. Nowadays, people are in it for money. These artists nowadays, a lot of them are not in it because the craft of music and the love of the entertainment. They're in it for, I want to get a Benz and I want to be like them on, with the record and the Mercedes and the G-Wagon and all. And that's cool, but there's no love for the craft no more. And that's what I miss.
Yeah. And you hear it in the music because it's very mechanical. The vocals are subpar, there's no soul in the music. I mean, it's just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
These folks not singing with no soul. It's just, you can stay on pitch, barely. It's EQ'd. I don't know.
Yeah.
But, I miss those days where you had real singers, who really took
real
their craft
rehearsals.
seriously.
You rehearsed and you just
showed
get
up
get
for,
up in the middle of the night. Yeah.
So showed up for sound check, so you're not all night yelling at the sound man, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
It's so much to it that I think, and I talk about these things on these type of platforms because I know a lot of people, they look at artists like you and they see you on stage and they see you doing all these different things. They don't know the work ethic that's necessary in order to come across in an excellent way like you do.
And that's what it is. I mean, you can't be discouraged. You can't be discouraged in well doing. You got to keep moving because if you stop, you're just hindering you're pushing that date for the success to come. You have to keep working. You got to work while it's day. You got to practice. You got to work your craft. You got to study. You got to do this here. People get discouraged because they're not happening in your time. But God has a set time for you. But what happens is what people get a mistake is they waiting for that set time to come to start getting prepared. You have to prepare yourself before that time comes. The door is coming. But if you're not ready when the door comes, it's not God's fault when it don't work out. You can't blame the Lord and everything else when you hadn't did what you needed to do. And like Will Smith always say, I love this. If you're ready, you ain't got to get ready. So when it comes, you ready right now. If that thing come right now tomorrow, are you ready for it? You have to be ready. So that when the opportunity, listen, everybody's listening, the opportunity is coming. Just prepare yourself. You got to prepare yourself and believe God that it's coming. And guess what? It's going to come. And that's what it is. I mean, I'm excited. I got beat out by last year. I got beat out by Gary Sheard, but I mean that's a good thing. I mean, I was for video of the year. It's okay, but I was there. You were there,
and you worked that carpet too, huh?
Hey, you see? Oh, come on now, come on.
You worked that carpet.
Got a check and got the other streams of income.
Come on here, and that wonderful orange suit. Come on,
come on. Hey, God did it, man. And thank God for sponsorships. Shout out to Toyota. They sponsored all that. And so it's like I said, I got all kind of ways to make you're successful. It's all kind of, don't just look for one thing. If that don't work, cool. This is gonna work, and you do this here and use the exposure for this. You have to always be creative. Okay, I'm here. What can I do to make this bigger? So because you have to be your own branding agent. You have to take care of yourself. What can I do to make me bigger? What is God saying? The sky's the limit. Yes, sir.
Listen, man, I gotta stop because see, I can talk to you forever. It's
I got it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go eat myself.
But tell everybody where they can reach out to your website, social media handles, things like that.
Well, listen, SamsonLogan.com or at Samson Logan on Facebook's, Instagram, everything. Get at me, Samson Logan on Apple Music. Your person put it up there from your cousin. I appreciate it. It's Samson Logan. You hook it up, get with me. I try my best to respond much as possible. We got some great things coming, and whatever happened, don't give up, you guys. Keep moving. Things are gonna be good. If you give up now, all the pain from your past will be pointless. So keep moving.
I love it. Thanks so much, Sam. I sure appreciate
Absolutely.
you, man. Y'all
I appreciate it, man.
There it is, Keisha. She on it. Samson Logan.
Yes, she on it.
Yes, sir.
There you go. Keisha, I gotta get you to work for me.
You can't be stealing it from me, man.
No, just hey man, I appreciate everything.
Oh, absolutely. Much love. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, y'all. That was Samson Logan tonight. Awesome interview. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Man, he is just a good all-around brother, but some great information tonight. Make sure you guys check him out. All right, check him out on his social media handles. And of course, like Keisha was telling us, make sure you go to SamsonLogan.com. And there, as a matter of fact, you'll find links there to where all of his music is, as well as movies and things of that nature. You can find all of that right there at SamsonLogan.com. So I want you guys to make sure you go there and check that out. All right. Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed the show today as much as I have. I always enjoy y'all. You guys are simply the best. I feel like I have the best followers, the best viewers in the world. Thank y'all so much. Listen, I love you for free. I promise you I do. But y'all know how we get out of here every Tuesday, should I say. Come on, let's tell God we gonna hold on to our yes. Let's do it. Y'all ready? Here we go. Hey.
Won't you help me hold on to my yes?
Let's go!
Few trials, few stars. Every day I try to hold on. Few heartache, pain. Every day I try to hold on. My Savior, my Father. Every day I try to hold on. Your name, a strong tower. Every day I try to hold on. Help me. Won't you help me hold on to my yes?
You're with me.
I've been battled, cheated. Every day I try to hold on. Talked about mistreated. Every day I try to hold on. My Savior, my Father. Every day I try to hold on. Your name, strong tower. Every day I try to hold on. Won't you help me hold on to my yes? It's like my grip is loosening, like my phone is slipping. Feels like I'm falling. You didn't catch me. I need you to catch me. You said you'll never leave me, and I know you won't forsake me. So Lord, won't you just walk with me, talk with me, 'cause I need you. I'm down here on my knees, and I'm praying, help me please. Don't let the devil take my yes from me. Won't you help me? Won't you help me? I'm down here on my knees, and I'm praying, help me please. Don't let the devil take my yes from me. Help me, won't you help me? Help me. I'm down here on my knees, and I'm praying, help me please. Don't let the devil take my yes from me. Won't you help me? Won't you help me? I'm down here on my knees, and I'm praying, help me please. Don't let the devil take my yes from me. Won't you help me? 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 Oh Lord, won't you help me? Help me hold on to my yes.
I love y'all so much. Thank you. See you next time. I love you for free, and we'll see you next week on the Ron Todd Podcast.